My name is Betsy Douglas McDonald, which probably nobody knows. I teach art at Cumberland High School. I used to teach chemistry here. I taught chemistry here for about 13 years. I always wanted to teach art. Finally, when the art teacher was here left, I was able to, through a union, because you can bid on a job, sort of, I was able to get the job. I live in fear that they might change it at any point though, because they could. So don't show this to too many people. I've always done art and just always had to draw. I have a drawing that I did probably when I was 5 or 6 of my St. Bernard. So things haven't changed much. I'm still kind of doing the same kind of art, hopefully improved a little bit. For many years I would have at least one solo art show, and I used to be able to sell a lot of work. I would have a show with 24 paintings, maybe sell 10, 14 on the opening night. I had a following. People would get there early. I then, when I went back to school and got my master's in painting, started to paint things that I really wanted to paint, particularly animals, and also dead animals. And needless to say, those don't fly off the walls. Done a lot of commercial work too. 3 children's books. Some work for the United Nations, the town of Westport, the state of Rhode Island was the Ocean State Marathon. My hobby is horses. I just love to be with my horses. That's my passion in life, along with art, but horses might even win. My childhood was way too easy. My mother and father got along. I had an intact family. They never said harsh words to each other. They were very much in love. That's a very nice way to grow up. Now I get teary-eyed because I just can't believe what some kids have had to grow up with. My father, however, did die when I was 23. I might have had it really easy until then, but then I lost him, and then I lost my brother also, who was a little bit older and who I adored. So I had a very nice life. 65, that's very different from a 25-year-old or 30-year-old teacher. I think it's easier probably when you're a little younger. The one thing I hope that comes across is that they know that I really am interested in them, that I really care about them, that I'm really interested in what I teach. So I think probably you can relate to your students as long as you have that. I also like to think that I'm pretty straightforward and honest, and what you see is what you get. I'm not faking anything. And I try to treat them all with respect. You never know, every once in a while somebody will say something nice and I'll be surprised, like you. Or years from now I'll get an email. And I had a student who apparently had moved to San Francisco, and he sent me an email and said, "You were the only teacher who respected me in high school." Floored me, but it was the 70s. And he was kind of a blatantly gay guy, so maybe he did have a hard time. Pleased to know that there are students out there who think that I really care about them. Maybe some of them think I push too hard because I care too much about my subject. One major struggle in teaching art, which is very different from science, is in grading art. I virtually can't say this is a better piece of art than that, because it's a very individual thing. It's a mode of expression. One can't really be better than the other. I guess the other struggle is disrespectful students. That's always a struggle for me, because sometimes I feel that I have to be more of a tough guy, and that's just not my style. I would rather explain and work with kids. The other part of it is I have to understand where kids are coming from and what's going on at home, and that maybe art is not that important to them, and I have to understand that it doesn't have to be. I know how energizing and exciting it is for me when I create art and it finally comes together. It's always a struggle. I think kids expect it to just happen. It doesn't happen. It doesn't just happen. You really have to work through it. Don't like to do a lousy job at things. If I want to do something, I would like to do it well. Just want to do a good job.